Hi guys and gals, Froggy here. I'm using a different camera location here, see if this comes out any better for you guys and gals. And I'm skipping ahead. I'm assuming you know how to take apart the upper and the lower on an AR-15 style. This is the 22 caliber Smith & Wesson version, but I have been told by the person who sold it to me that a regular AR-15 drop-in trigger will work. Now I know for sure that the charging handles for regular AR-15s and the bolt release for the AR-15s do not work because the bolt is completely different on the 22 caliber. But they said the trigger works, so we're going to try that. Anyway, we're going to take the handle off, and I'm learning as I go. So if I make any bloopers, I'm going to leave them in there. We're going to take the handle off. Um, it turns out that this is on this gun, it's an SAE to 3/16. It's not a 5 millimeter. It's not a 5.5 millimeter. It's not a 4. It's 3/16. So go figure. Anyway, let me get the handle off. Okay, when you get that apart, be careful. There are two springs. All right, one there and a blue one there. They're different sizes. On mine, this spring here came with the handle, but it will fall right out. As you see, it presses up against a, a plunger there or something there. I think it has to do with safety. And this other one, oh, I've got a magnetic tip on there. And this other one also probably has a plunger underneath it. Anyway, um, remember, they will actually both fit in the same holes. So the blue one goes to the back, and the steel colored one goes to the front. Okay? I might put a little tiny dab of blue Loctite when I put this back in, although it does have a lock washer. Remember, you're screwing it into a poly lower, so don't overdo it. Pull the safety straight out like that. Oh, there's your two plungers. When I tipped it up like this, they came out. Release the hammer. Okay, we're going to press out the forward pin here. Now things might be under tension. Remember, I'm just wiggling the hammer a little bit. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Mm. All right, let me just look at that. It looks the same either way. I do not think there's a left or a right. All right, remove your punch, and there's your hammer. Okay? Oh, sorry, a little bit out of frame. I'm trying so hard to make this in frame. There's your hammer. Okay, so I pushed the rearmost pin out and lifting the trigger upwards. First this part came out and then the rest of it came out, and there's a spring there. I think you can see it right there. And let's break there. So I'm just going to recap. Handle came off. It's out of the frame right now. Watch for the two sets of springs and plungers with the handle. Pull the safety out. Front pin takes the hammer out. That's right here. Let's put that more towards the front. Rear pin takes the rest of the trigger out. Okay, so that's a recap. Okay, I'm still fighting the camera, so let's proceed. Now, some of the drop-in triggers come with both of these. I'm out of frame. Both of these attached together. Mine does not. That's okay. Also, this one has come with two sets of springs. I assume it's a single stage, and I think one is a lighter and one is a heavier spring. Unfortunately, they don't tell you which is kind of ridiculous. But I'm going to go with the one that came installed on it, which is right here. And then if I don't like it, I'll go with this other one. Just mark it. Now, if you go with a lighter trigger pull, you might also end up with lighter hammer strikes on your rim fire, so be aware. Okay, so let's drop this back in. I just measured the pins on the trigger part, and to my eye it looked longer, and it is longer. This is 25.5 millimeters. This is about 23. So I'm going to use that original pin, and bad on these guys for having the wrong length, unless they're different lengths for different receivers. I don't know, but there ought to be some explanation of that. Anyway, so we're going to take this pin out, put it to the side, and use this other pin here. Okay. You know, the pins have some grooves on them that are different, so I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm just going to have to hope that this pin that I got with the Dirty Bird is going to be good enough to hold it into the lower. Shoot. Okay, we have a bit of a difficult thing going on here. I got it in. You have to make sure when you drop the hammer in that the spring legs are laying on top of the trigger pin area so that there's tension. See the tension when you're pushing it down? So it's hard to push it down and line all the holes up. I got it lined up. I had to do it off camera. And then when you pull the trigger, it has tension to go forward. Now, I got several issues with this Dirty Bird right now. Let me review them. Number one, different colored springs, and they don't tell you which is what is what. Okay. Number two, both of the pins are shorter than the ones I took out. Number three, they have a different number of grooves. The ones I took out have 3 grooves, and they fit flush to the receiver. The ones I put in have 2 grooves, and they don't fit flush. They're like about 1 millimeter recessed on each side, so I split the difference. Here's the thing is, I think those grooves are supposed to line up with a coil of the spring, and that kind of holds everything in place. But I'm not sure they will with these different lengths and different number of grooves on their replacement trigger. So I don't know. I think it'll work. I think I'm going to put the safety back in. Let me show you putting the safety back in, and then we'll talk a little bit more. Oh, one other thing about the Dirty Bird pins is there's one groove in the middle, and then there's one offset towards the end, and they don't tell you which one goes to which side of the receiver. So that's another little thing. Okay, little point on getting the safety in. You have to have the hammer back to put the safety in. Having the hammer back moves the trigger forward a little bit and gives you clearance to get the safety in. So let's just try safe. fire. Appears to work, but Froggy's not happy. Okay, you put the handle back on, and then I'm going to try and get a hold of somebody and explain to me what the differences are with this Dirty Bird trigger drop-in, which to me didn't quite drop in. But I will shoot this tomorrow, and I'll put something in the comments about. Uh, you don't need to see me screw the hammer back, screw the handle back on, right? Just make sure the two plungers and the two springs are there. Okay? I showed you that when I took it apart. So give me a thumbs up or a like if this helps you out. Subscribe to my channel if you want more from Froggy. Ring the bell if you want notifications. Be safe. Have fun. Froggy out. Bye-bye. Let's go, Brandon. Final remark on tightening this screw into the handle. I had to really hold myself back from over-tightening it because the handle was rocking a little bit, so I wanted to get a little tighter, and it was rocking a little tighter. And then I finally got it to where it's just barely I could feel a tiny little bit of rock, something you won't even really notice when you're shooting, but don't over tighten it. I might have gone a little bit more, but I just don't want to strip that out. It's poly. All right, don't strip it out. Bye.